Welcome to the Axiom Brass Online Masterclass series. Today, I'll be talking about Etude number 38 from 70 Studies for B-Flat Tuba, Volume 1 by Blazhevich. This is the lyrical etude required for the audition. Before you begin, double check to make sure you have the correct page number for this etude. If you're playing directly from the book, it is the second page of the etude only. It is very similar to the first page, but with the dotted 8/16 rhythm in the main melody. Do look at the first page, however, so that you can get the idea of tempo and expressive markings. It is marked Andante con moto. That means to be played at an average speed, but with motion. This is a chance to show off your ability to be expressive and creative. It is also marked dolce, meaning sweetly. The only dynamic marking is piano. The composer wasn't lazy, he was just leaving musicians room to display creativity. It is an A-flat major, so watch to make sure that you're playing D-flats throughout. But be cautious of accidentals so that they carry through the measures throughout the piece. Take a look at the time signature. It's in a simple 4/4 time throughout, but this doesn't mean that it should be metronomic. Use this to your advantage to use a bit of rubato throughout. Now in Italian, rubato means robbed time, but it's more often referred to as borrowed time. If you take time from someplace, give it back somewhere else. That way the average time is always steady. To achieve this, start by playing the etude steady with a metronome. Play through the subdivisions as 16th notes. This will ensure rhythmic accuracy while giving direction to the musical line. Once you've accomplished that, play the same passage as written, but continue to think of the subdivisions, 16th note subdivisions as you go along. When you do this properly, the longer notes will have sustain and they'll give direction as well. Like with the technical etude, this one begins with silence. Count off in your head before beginning. Imagine joining a sound that is already happening. or imagine gently stepping on a moving escalator. Think 2 and 3 and breathe. 2 and 3 and... Speaking of breathing, take the time to mark all of your breaths throughout so that they are consistent every time you play this. Note that there are 2 types of breaths in this exercise. There are breaths that happen at the ends of phrases, and there are replacement breaths. Musically speaking, breaths at the ends of phrases can take time to let the music breathe, in a sense. Replacement breaths have to be taken despite the musical line, so it should never disrupt the musical idea. This next section I'm going to demonstrate shows this. Notice how my first breath is quick, but does not disrupt the musical line, while my second breath is much more prepared to let the music itself breathe. Learn where the differences are in this etude and mark them so that you do it that way every time. A good rule of thumb is to think every 4 bars as being a phrase breath. There are a lot of large intervals throughout this piece. Always blow your air continuously through these slurs, and always think of the second or the last note of a group slur as being long, never clipped. A great example of this is the A-flat major arpeggio on the last line that slurs and spans a 2-octave range. I suggest breaking up each into a 4-note group, playing them slowly with lots of air and at full volume. Take a good clean breath in the beginning of each group. As you go higher, think of speeding up your air. When you master that, do it quicker and take a breath at the end of every 2 4-note groups. Finally, put it all together at tempo. If you have the capacity, play as long as you can without taking a breath. If you can't, there are a couple of options for you, depending on your level of control of your breath. I'll demonstrate both of those options. In your practice, work on smaller sections, then incorporate those into bigger sections. Spend most of your time on this etude with the most challenging parts. Work them into larger sections and do them as a daily routine. You'll find that you'll learn things much faster this way. Finally, don't be afraid to make this musical and expressive. Experiment. Try out different ideas to see if they work. The best test will be to sing it through all the way, exactly the way you want it to sound. Then play it, trying to emulate what you just sang. You'll be surprised at the results. Thanks for watching, and be sure to check out more videos at axiombrass.com. And be sure to also subscribe to our YouTube channel.